All right, guys, now for part two. I know the questions are going to be asked, and so we'll go ahead and nip that in the bud. Welcome to the Clack Shack, by the way. That is what I so lovingly call my hangout. This is my shop where I do my woodworking. I got a laser engraver over here. I make all kinds of stuff. Got some tumblers over here, do some engraving, making different things. It all started basically because I wanted to be able to put marks on some of my woodworking projects to let people know who made them, and it kind of just went crazy from there. So I do all kinds of stuff in here, but I'm gonna flip around now and go over my tooth setter setup and my sharpener, just show everybody what I got and how I got it running in case anybody's interested. It doesn't have a setup yet, or you got it ordered, or whatever the case may be. Like I said, I'm no pro. I learn as I go. I do try to make things work a little bit better, a little more efficiently, but here we go. All right, my setter, which I haven't had it long. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of researching for a long time, and I just finally decided to break down and get one when my blades got to where they wasn't cutting like they're supposed to on me. Here's some of my blades that I still got left to sharpen, and as you can see, they some of them are in better shape than others. The one thing that I will say that I have learned is if you rub your thumb down the side of this blade and those teeth don't try to cut you or don't catch you, then yeah, you need to set your blade. Because I didn't realize that until after doing all this stuff with these blades, and I've slowly figured it out. The way that this is supposed to work is you got a left tooth, right tooth, and a middle tooth. The left and right do the cutting. The middle just drags the cut to get the sawdust out of it, or shavings, whichever, however you want to refer to it. This little guy's pretty simple. I think it was 300 bucks. Woodland Mills, I'm sorry, but I did have to upgrade it a little bit. This is a sponge, and that is a PVC cap with a slit cut in it that I screwed onto here. And the purpose of that is I kept finding myself taking a sponge and wiping them down with WD-40 before I started sharpening them to make sure everything slides through real easy. And when I hang them back up at the mill, I don't want them rusting if I can help it. So after doing 2 or 3 of them, I realized that if I just put a sponge here, cut a hole in it, and fill this up with WD-40, it'll lube it for me. So that's what I did. This thing's pretty simple. The handle, you have to adjust it and make sure that it only advances 3 teeth. They didn't put an indicator on here, and my OCD kind of messed with me, so I got my own little indicator right there. That lets me know that this is going to be the next tooth that's set, and that's in case you're not paying attention. I mark my blades right here on the weld, but just in case I'm not paying attention and I try to come around and set everything twice, I don't want to, because the teeth do change on this weld. Almost every blade I've done of mine, the teeth right here, the series gets out of whack. Instead of going, left, right, center, then you've got right here, you've got a left, right, center, and then right here, okay, now all of a sudden I got another center. So there's 2 center teeth back to back right there. So when I'm setting it, I had to, actually that's a right face, then a center. So I got 2 right faces back to back right there on that weld. So I got to watch for that, because if not, you'll be messed them up, and then you got to start all over and mess your blade up. So that takes a little getting used to. I really wish there was like a way I could, have somebody remind me when to stop, but you just got to pay attention and watch for your marks. Like I said, I do mark them with yellow paint, and when that mark goes around, it's on the inside, so I can see it as it comes around. And I'm getting to where I can kind of time it and know when to start looking for the blade to change. But either way, as long as I watch this tooth and make sure that it's the right, like on this particular set, these teeth should be pointing, they should be set that way just a little. So if I start seeing that I got one over here that's set that way, then I know, hey, I've passed the weld, so I need to stop and rotate it. The dial on this thing is, like I said, this is probably not, state of the art, best you can buy But it's the best you can get for $300. I can assure you that. And it seems to be working fine for me. So I'm happy with it. But you've got to set it, and then you've got to stop here where you can keep it from over tensioning the overbending the tooth. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start right there, and then that's gonna be my first tooth, and you can see the teeth down in the hole right there. And then all you have to do is squeeze the handles. And I have noticed that as long as I go to say 50, 52, 53 on the squeeze, when I let go, I'm right there in the ballpark of 15. So if you just barely tighten these up, it'll kind of read the set on the tooth. It's probably not exactly accurate, but you know, without taking the pin out, but it's pretty close. So I just kind of watch, make sure I hit about 53, and when I let off of it, you know, I'm right there at that 15 mark. This is the advancing arm here. It's pretty simple once you get it set right. Now you got to have it set right, but when you pull this forward and you push all the way until it bottoms out on this little screw right here, and you release it, now you've got your next tooth lined up. And then the same principle you take. See, that's on a light squeeze right now. It's showing it's got about 6,000 set. So squeeze that, going up into the 50s. So I should be pretty close to my 15 that I'm wanting. Yeah, right there, see that? And then just barely squeezing them together. You don't want that the little push pin there to contact the blade. You just want the little anvil, I think is what they call it right there. You just want it to kind of press it up and get it straight. And that makes that tooth lean against that gauge. So, and then like I said, go to the next tooth. Now usually I use 2 hands, and this is much faster. Slide it over. I'm gonna do a light squeeze just to see what it said. So you got maybe like 4,000, 6, 7 maybe. So squeeze her up. I hit 50, so that's probably gonna be a little low. I figure it'll probably be about 13. Oh, look at there. Got 13. So, I mean, you can always go back, squeeze again. Okay, I got 51 that time. It may have moved to 14. Yeah, there we go. So, I mean, but everything I've read, everything that everybody's saying says that as long as you're within 4 thousandths, it works. And, you know, like that one there on a light squeeze, it's showing about 4. So then I squeeze that one up, got 53. So that one there actually should be like right on 15. Yes, it's 14. Squeeze again if you want, hold it for a second. Got 55 that time, so it'd definitely be 15. So I'm just doing a little light squeeze there. But that's how the setter works. The reason I went with this one instead of Woodmizer, I love Woodmizer. I don't know why they did what they did, but on the Woodmizer setter, you actually have to take your blade and flip it and basically turn it inside out for it to set the other side. And the benefit of this guy is this piece rotates here, and then you slide it off of this pin, flip it around, slide it onto this pin, and now the direction that you're setting changes, and so you can set both sides of the blade without having to take the thing out and flip it inside out, set it, and then flip it right back. Because basically you got to flip your blade inside out twice to use the Woodmizer setter, and that just didn't appeal to me, so that's what I went with. But my sharpener that I have, and there's the cat, it keeps the mice down. That's my mouse patrol. My sharpener, of course, is the BMS25. It's not the fanciest sharpener on the market. I do like it. It took some getting used to and learning how to adjust it and all that. But now that I've got it going, it does me a good job. It's 12 volt powered, which is handy if you off the grid. I run it off my RTV, and I can run it off my tractor battery if I'm using my tractor. But when I'm at the shop, I have this nifty little 12 volt power supply right there that I connect it to, and it makes it run like a champ. So, but anyway, that's what I got, man. And like I said, it works for me. I like it. Like I said, not a professional, but I haven't bought any blades since I bought my mill, so I'm doing something right anyway. All right, guys, have a good one. See ya.